Hey there, everybody in class this weekend. Sorry I can't be there. I really would have enjoyed listening to the content. It is 6 a.m. Friday morning and I am madly packing to take my daughter up to college this weekend. So again, sorry I'm not there. So Jenny asked me to video my definition, perception, conception of plasticity. So for me, when I think of plasticity, every cell in the human body is plastic, and that's connective tissue, that's organ tissue, that's muscular tissue, that's neural tissue. And when I think of plasticity and at the cellular level, I think that environmental external influences and forces affect how cells behave, how they change. And so that's what the word plastic means to me. Plasticity is the constant evolution, change that a cell goes through based on external forces. So I know you were all in exercise dosing last weekend and talked a lot about the plasticity of connective tissue and how to dose to have that connective tissue heal. If you're an ortho person, I know you spend a lot of time thinking about how to affect muscular and tendinous and ligamentous tissue in your treatments. And for us in the neuro world, we primarily focus on neuroplasticity. So for me, there are two types of neuroplasticity. It's adaptive and maladaptive. When you think about non-use of an extremity or a motor plan because of a neurologic deficit, what you see is maladaptive plasticity, where the motor pattern, the motor ability, power, force, strength, endurance are affected by non-use. And so we call that maladaptive plasticity. You throw in abnormal tone, whether that's hypotonicity or hypertonicity, that again changes your neurocellular ability to produce an output, a motor output or a motor plan. So what we deal with a lot, I think, in neurorehabilitation is how do we minimize maladaptive neuroplasticity and how do we maximize adaptive plasticity. One of the concepts that we talk a lot about and we are constantly talking about is when you're developing your plan of care for your neural patient, are you planning a care that is going to focus on recovery or adaptive plasticity? Or are you focusing on a plan of care of compensation, which is actually maladaptive plasticity? When you're in the acute care hospital and you know that patient's leaving in less than 3 weeks, we definitely focus on recovery or adaptive plasticity, but we are also realistic and know that they're probably not going to be moving the way they were 100% before they had the neural insult. And so you have to focus, you have to do some compensatory training as well. And so what I tell my neuro residents is that's the constant battle in your clinical decision making in your head is what am I doing for recovery and what am I doing for compensation? And it directly relates to neuroplasticity. The other thing that's kind of challenging in the current research is how do we dose appropriately for humans for adaptive plastic changes of the central nervous system. lots of research has to be done to not only talk about dosing, but also timing of the dosing after an insult. So we're just in the infancy stages of understanding what we do and how we impact neuroplasticity. So that's kind of it in a nutshell for me. I hope that either makes you think a little bit or makes you wonder what you're doing with your patients when you're working on gait recovery, locomotor recovery, the ability to stand up, the ability to balance. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. And again, I'm sorry that I'm missing this morning. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye.